It's Tuesday. My name is Matt, and it is your daily crypto news. And if the audio sounds a little different, please let me know because I am in a new office that hasn't got its sound treatment yet. So it's a little more echoey and bouncy in here, but we will correct that over the next, well, we will see when we get to that. Because let me tell you, hanging up those sound panels is tedious. You don't care. You want to hear crypto news. But before we get into said crypto news, please do me a favor. Email me, matt@dailycryptonews.net. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, I am open to hear it. And if you know me, then you know that I'm very receptive to suggestions and criticism. Let's get into today's news. Ledger. You guys know Ledger. It is your favorite hardware wallet. I don't know if it's your favorite hardware wallet. It is my favorite hardware wallet. And in December of 2022, they announced that they were releasing Stacks, Ledger Stacks. And Ledger Stacks was designed by the famous Johnny Ive. Yes, the Johnny Ive of Apple, the iPhone, the iPod, all of those things. He went to Ledger and designed a new device, a new hardware wallet for them with e-ink and a touchscreen and a curved display. It's pretty damn sexy. So if anybody ever wants to diss on Johnny Ive, if anybody thinks that he lost a step, then all you have to do is look at this thing and go, nah, he still got it. That thing is pretty damn sexy. Well, it was announced in December of 2022, and it was supposed to ship on March of 23. And to be honest with you, I forgot about this thing because I thought it's been shipping this whole time. Well, it hasn't been. It started shipping today. Apparently, according to Ian Rogers, who is the Chief Experience Officer at Ledger, he said that there was manufacturing and supply chain problems. To get the e-ink display to curve properly, to have a nice secure device, to ramp up manufacturing in the quantities that are needed by people who are waiting for this device, it took a little longer than they thought. Well, the time is finally here, and now if you order the Stacks, or if you want one of the coolest looking hardware wallets on the planet, you can now order it and receive it. Congrats to Ledger, it's a sexy device. Joe Lubin, he is very bullish on Ethereum. I mean, he is the co-founder of Ethereum, so I guess he kind of has to be. Oh, and he also is the CEO and founder of Consensus, who is an Ethereum software company. Kind of hard not to be bullish on Ethereum. But he is extraordinary bullish, it seems. He believes that the approval of the spot Ethereum ETF by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission represents a seismic shift in how crypto is treated in America. He views this as a game changer because it signifies that crypto has graduated to a higher status within the American political landscape. Lubin believes that crypto has become an extremely important political issue, which can influence elections. He said because of this political power that crypto does now have within the landscape, it could override previous regulatory stances and could potentially reduce the aggressive legal actions against major crypto firms. He also thinks that the approval of this Ethereum spot ETF was likely a political decision influenced by pressures from the highest levels of government, possibly even coming from the level of the White House. I tend to agree with him. Look, for better or for worse, Sam Bankman-Fried taught us a lot of things here in the crypto space. The one thing that I think he taught everybody was, if you got the money, pump a lot of it into politics. And when Sam Bankman-Fried was at the helm of FTX and was a billionaire, he took about $100 million and pumped it into Democrats. And he did so because Democrats were, we could say honestly, were on the wrong side of the crypto conversation. And so he's like, how do we get them on the right side? Well, maybe we just start funding their campaigns, which will give them much more incentive and give us a lot more leverage over their decisions in the crypto space. And so that's what he did, giving money to Democrats all across the board that were running for office. And some of those Democrats ran, and some of those Democrats won. He also created a super PAC that started running ads for candidates and issues across the country, and that influenced different elections. On the opposite side of him, Ryan Salame was given to Republicans. And so because of this, I think everybody saw that with a substantial amount of money being pumped into different candidates in different elections, you could really change the future of crypto legislation. And after Sam got arrested and that all fell apart, people like Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, Ryan Selkis of Masari, and Winklevi, and so many more said, hey, how are we putting up millions of dollars together, make a super PAC of $100 million or so, and start doing the same thing in elections, and start targeting people that don't like crypto and helping out the people that do, Democrats and Republicans. And we're going to start lobbying people in Congress. So I agree with Joe Lubin. Crypto has become very powerful in Washington. And because of the money and because of the billionaires that were created and them using that money to further, honestly, their own interests, the interests of their companies, crypto has a seat at the table in DC. People are panicking. $9 billion of Bitcoin from Mt. Gox, or around 140,000 Bitcoin, were moved to an unknown wallet. And people are saying that this move was possibly part of the plan to repay creditors by October 31st of 2024. Now, of course, when you see 140,000 Bitcoin move and go to an unknown wallet, people start panicking. Two things I want to say about this. $9 billion worth of Bitcoin being sold in the market, even if it was all sold in the market, wouldn't really make a dent. Yes, number would go down a couple thousand, 3, 4, maybe a couple panic selling from other people, but it really wouldn't last for long. Second is just because people are going to get repaid from the Mt. Gox hack doesn't mean that they're going to sell their Bitcoin. They could still hodl. So I highly doubt 140,000 Bitcoin will be sold after they get it. More than likely, most people are going to hodl because we do have a spot ETF. And we were just talking about Joe Lubin, and we were just talking about the SEC, and we were just talking about how politics is changing to be more crypto friendly. Hopefully that continues. So why would you sell? Donald Trump. He was at the Libertarian Convention and he was giving speeches. He was playing the hits, well, the Libertarian hits. He found the top 40 and he threw it on his Donald Trump speech record player and started saying the things. One of the things that he was saying is that he pledged to commute Silk Road founders Ross Ulbricht's sentence on day one. If you guys remember, he was sentenced to lives, plural, in prison, plus some years for the creation of Silk Road and allowing the illegal trade and buying, selling of goods and services on the platform. As you know, a lot of people, including myself, feel that that was very unfair and the sentence did not match the crime. Like, the sentence is just so blown out of proportion. It's an overextension of the power of the government, which is a lot of people say. Some people think that he shouldn't have got any jail time. Some people say like, hey, 5, 10, maybe even 20 years is fine, but lives in jail is absolutely insane. And so people have been saying free Ross for a long time now. Ross thanked Donald Trump via Twitter, saying last night Donald Trump pledged to commute my sentence on day one if really elected. Thank you, thank you, thank you. After 11 years in prison, it's hard to express how I feel at this moment. It is thanks to your undying support that I might get a second chance. But as you know, I'm a skeptic, and I agree with Jameson Lopp's tweet here. Trump promising to commute Ross's sentence is political pandering. And I can't agree more. That's why I said that he's playing the hits. There's the top 40. He took the record, he brought it into the speech, and he played the hits for the libertarians. He had the opportunity to commute his sentence 4 years ago and declined. Actions speak louder than words. And I couldn't agree more. Why didn't he do it 4 years ago? Apparently, he didn't care then. Does he really care now? Or is he trying to win an election and get those libertarian votes? I think it's the latter. I also agree with Adam Cochran that Trump has decades-long history of backpedaling and not paying his bills and selling out others for his interests. And the weird circle jerk of Trump on crypto Twitter is misguided. Now look, I know there's a lot of people that are listening to this that support Donald Trump. Thank you for listening to the show. What I am saying is that politicians politic. And we have high stakes as like a race for president of the United States. You start saying things to try to get any votes that you can because it might be close in November. Do we honestly think that Donald Trump cares about crypto like we do? I don't think so. I think that he knows that it might be politically powerful to get elected. I don't know what he's going to do when he gets to office. It's not going to be on the first thing he's going to do to say, we're going to support the crypto industry. I doubt it. I also don't think that he really cares about Ross Ulbricht. I don't think he cares about the precedent that it's sent, because he could have done this 4 years ago. He could have thought about it 4 years ago. People were saying the same thing for 11 years, free Ross. So this, again, like I said, political pandering, agree with Jameson Lopp. And he ran into the Libertarian Convention speech with his top 40 hits from the Libertarians, and he started playing to see what hit. While he was there, by the way, he also promised to keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from Bitcoin. Okay, I can get behind that. Now, in the wake of Donald Trump's speech at the Libertarian Conference, you can imagine that number somewhere will go up, or number somewhere will go down. And the Trump-themed MAGA hat cryptocurrency meme coin has surged over 150% in the past 24 hours. I literally was thinking, I had a dream to buy that, by the way. I was dreaming, I was like, man, I gotta buy some MAGA. While the Trump meme coin, ticker is Trump, went up only by around 13%. Constitution Dollars token, People, is also up by 5%. And finally, in some sad news, I don't know if you heard over the weekend, the dog that inspired Dogecoin and the face of Dogecoin, the spokes dog of Dogecoin, the mascot of Dogecoin, died at 18 years old. Kabosu will be remembered and live on in infamy on the Mount Rushmore of famous dogs. Those famous dogs include Lassie, Scooby-Doo, Rin Tin Tin, Beethoven, Old Yeller, Benji, Snoopy, and now Doge. Now let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
And the time is 10:19 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Fear of Greed's at 65. We are greedy, kinda, going down a little bit. Bitcoin's sitting at $68,050, down 1.3% in 24. Ethereum's at $3,871, down 1.7%. Tether is number 3. Binance is at, we'll just call it $600 even, down about 0.8%. And Solana is at 170, up 1.5. Rounding off the top 10, we have USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, sadly is down 4.4% at 16.3 cents. Toncoin and Cardano. Total market cap is at 2.55 trillion. A Bitcoin dominance of 52.4 and ETH dominance of 18.2. That was our show today. I'll be back tomorrow. And until then, happy hodling, everyone.